This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Outlook for December 2019 through March 2020. Looking back at November, looks like temperature-wise and precipitation-wise, it's been a pretty dry month across much of the northern half of the Great Basin, but we want to focus on our southern areas, which, leading into November, were borderline critically dry. They had significant precipitation, about 200 to 400% of normal, where you see the shades of blue to purple through southern Nevada, southern Utah, through the Arizona Strip. Areas to the north that were dry for November had significant rains and accumulating snows in October, so the dryness there really not playing a factor. Overall temperatures were about 2 to 3 degrees above normal in most areas. In terms of the latest drought monitor, we have noticed that we did have some drought conditions which actually began through the summer and still lingered, especially down in southern and southwest Utah. Little to no drought conditions further north. In terms of the outlook that goes on for the next couple of months, looks like the drought conditions will continue for at least not alleviate as much across southern Utah as we go into the next couple of months, but overall not really consequential when we factor in what has happened in the last couple of weeks. And part of that is the expansion of snow cover across much of the higher terrain of southern Utah, almost down to the Arizona border. You can see through here in these blue shades anywhere from 4 to 12 inches of snow, locally higher amounts. Much of the northern two-thirds of Nevada blanketed in snow. Anywhere you can see the gray shade, still some light snow amounts and deeper snowpack across the mountains of central Idaho and western Wyoming. In terms of percent of normal, a lot of that snow cover that's in Idaho to Wyoming is still somewhat below normal, but still snow cover nonetheless, so no impacts on fire. It is further south, though, that we've had significant amounts of snow, anywhere from 140 to close to 200% of normal snow cover in the higher terrain in these areas in the blue. Now our fuels will continue to moisten. These are 100-hour fuels, 1,000-hour fuels here. Still some lagging 1,000-hour fuels in the 11 to 15% range, but given the expected weather as we head into early December, these two will moderate, and we'll look at that in a moment. But we look at some other conditions, El Nino or La Nina conditions. And the expectations here, as you follow the trend line, this is the average trend line here in the green, and you can see overall we are going to be in what's typically called La Nada, so neither in an El Nino or La Nina, so just normal conditions, which we get about 3/4 of the time. But more significantly, we stay in a short-term stormy pattern into the first part of December to the first week. Significant amounts of precipitation here, anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of melted precipitation from the blue to purple red shades, especially southern areas, which were most critical a few weeks ago. And this precipitation also moves up into northern areas, although not as much, but still enough to where things will really wet down, and with snow levels down to about 4,000 feet in many locations, snow cover will expand greatly during this time period. The 8 to 14, the outlook takes us from December 5th through the 11th. Focus on the right-hand side, above normal precipitation chances, so we stay moist into early December, near normal temperatures, normal for December being on the cooler side. The 1-month outlook also shows a wetter than normal signal through here. Temperatures a little bit above normal, but still enough precipitation chances moving back into northern areas especially. And the 3-month outlook from January through March starts focusing more on the northern portion of the Great Basin, Idaho and Wyoming, especially eastern Idaho, western Wyoming, as being wetter than normal, otherwise near normal in most other areas. Temperatures a bit above normal. So we put all those pieces together, and basically from December through March, which is typically our quietest time of year, we expect normal fire potential, normal typically being no large fires. This concludes our seasonal outlook, always issued just on or before the first of the month.